About the nature of this CBDC. What is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this. They showed him. And, you know, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe. And there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And it was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
I had a friend, Nick Rockefeller, who was one of the Rockefeller family. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. The ultimate goal that these people have in mind is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips. There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal.
The goal of this manipulation, and has been for a very long time, is to get the world population to see as a good idea, or the only option in given circumstances that are manipulated into place, the creation of a one world government, a world central bank which would administer all financial transactions on the planet, a world currency which wouldn't be coins and notes, it would be merely electronic, cashless society for which there are fundamental implications for freedom, and a microchipped population linked to a global computer, the latter of which sounds bizarre to many people on first hearing, except that we are ridiculously close to it and the technology already exists.
Tony Danner is standing at a new frontier in technology. The chip in his hand allows him to start his car, open doors, log onto his computer, and buy snacks in the break room, all with just a swipe of his hand.
You scan it at the kiosk, it comes up on the kiosk, and then to finalize your payment, you'll put your RFID chip.
The most cutting-edge thing about Hannes Sjöblad isn't the phone in his hand. It's the microchip actually in his hand. The tiny implant is steadily becoming a part of normal life in Sweden. Thousands already have microchip implants that they use in their daily lives, waving their hand to gain entrance to the gym, confirm their ID or make payments.
Nevertheless, each step of these technologies represent precursors to the mark of the beast, and many people focus on the differences between the precursors and the final prophecy of the mark of the beast, and then use such technical differences to disregard our warnings. But the mark of the beast will not come all of a sudden from one day to the next. There is and will be a great variety of precursors to the mark. One of the precursors most common today are RFID chipped cards. For example, a football club in the United Kingdom no longer accepts cash to go and see a match. You need to have a chipped card. Another football club in Argentina has gone an extra step and has recently introduced the idea of implanting RFID microchips in the upper arm that can be used for entering the grounds. Many shops everywhere are now promoting or requiring RFID chipped cards to access special discounts, and you can no longer travel using public transport in many places without an RFID chipped card. All of this is part of the conditioning that the system needs to implement before the final mark of the beast comes. The world's population must get used to making cashless transactions and be comfortable with having all their data registered and accessible to the system, and to enjoy and depend on the commodities that the technology offers before the whole world will be ready to accept an implantable microchip in the hand or forehead, without which they will not be able to buy or sell. Those who want to promote this transaction system based on microchip implants know that resistance to such a plan mostly comes from people who know of the mark of the beast prophecy, so the system keeps wearing down that resistance little by little through the use of these precursors. Technically, these precursors are not the mark of the beast. and so many people do not take seriously the warnings we're giving with regard to these precursors, because they think that as long as it's not the final mark of the beast, they don't need to worry about using the technology. People keep getting ever closer to the mark itself, thinking that there is no danger. But the precursors give us an opportunity to see how difficult it will be for us to live completely out of the system without the mark of the beast. If we keep giving in and continually get used to using the precursors, they're only going to take us closer and closer to the mark itself, until accepting the mark of the beast becomes just one more tiny step above what we're already used to. That's why it's important to note how the population of the world is conditioned with this technology. Young people already grow up accepting this as the norm, and it's getting harder to question what is happening without being seen as antiquated and extremist.